Yo, what's going on, guys? John here for the United People's TV with the Manchester United starting 11 prediction for the upcoming match versus FC Midtjylland in the Europa League. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Louis van Gaal will field his 11, considering the fact that he's come out publicly and stated his intention of perhaps maybe qualifying for the Champions League next season via the Europa League Championship route. And as depressing as that sounds, considering top 4 chances are pretty slim right now, and which I'll leave all that discussion for Sam and the others at the United People's TV channel. It's going to be very interesting to see how he will field his 11. Will he field his strongest 11, or will he field an 11 infused with youth and experience and all that? Anyways, we'll go discussing that into the whiteboard, as we can see right here. David De Gea in goal, no questions asked there. The back four of Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, Daley Blind, Chris Smalling, and Guillermo Varela. At right back, Matteo Darmian unfortunately came off due to injury against Sunderland with a dislocated shoulder. He's going to be out for a minimum of 7 weeks or so. Got it to hear that. But Matteo Darmian has been having a tough time. It isn't the greatest of his inaugural season at Manchester United. He's been struggling to find form and find that grounding as a solid right back for Manchester United. But whenever Guillermo Varela's had to deputize for him, whenever he's come on, he's shown a solid performance. And I'm hoping to see we can see this back four with these fullbacks properly showing a nice little balance of stability, composure, and lethality going forward, as well as coming back. And I really like these two as a pairing, fullback pairing, and I hope they start. If not, Donald Love will probably start at right back. But Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, I've said it many a times, he's been fantastic for us ever since he started this season. Great overlapping responsibilities, as well as making sure coming back down on defensive duties as well, providing lethal crosses, and I felt like he's been dropping more proper crosses than anybody else with his for a 17-year-old to be dropping in crosses like that. I feel like, you know, he's got great quality, great potential, and he's going to pose a positive headache for whoever takes over, considering the fact that Luke Shaw is our posed #1 left back, and it'll be very interesting to see how this develops here. But anyways, looking into the defensive midfield, I'm hoping to see sort of this kind of Morgan Schneiderlin and Ander Herrera combination, as opposed to the Morgan Schneiderlin and Michael Carrick combination that we saw against Sunderland. We were overrun in midfield against Sunderland, which is so upsetting to see. And while Louis van Gaal's philosophy doesn't help us, and while Louis van Gaal's style of play doesn't help us at all, and it allowed Sunderland to rip our midfield apart personally, when we have Morgan Schneiderlin and Michael Carrick standing in a double pivot role, it helps us with no transition through the thirds. There was no pace in there. Mbia and Johnson and a whole bunch of other Sunderland players were able to just romp us and destroy us down that middle, and I don't want to see that against a side that's not the strongest of European sides in Europe. And I want to see Ander Herrera in here, because I think if we can somehow play this sort of triangular, inverted triangle with Morgan Schneiderlin in a single pivot role, I think we can allow Ander Herrera to up the tempo a little bit and to advance through the thirds with a little bit more rhythm, a little bit more dynamism that we really require in that midfield role. There was no pace whatsoever when we have both out and out holding midfielders. I feel like that's just unnecessary, and I think Ander Herrera can probably bring us a little bit of that tempo and up that ante a little bit, just a little bit, and I think that's exactly what we're going to be looking for from Ander Herrera. And his link-up play with Juan Mata has been sensational many a times, not just this season and last season as well, with Memphis and Andreas Pereira on the flank, on the wings. And I think Andreas Pereira really deserves his start. He's been fantastic in the under-21s. He's been ripping it apart. He just plays for fun there, and I think he deserves his chance. And I think the Europa League is a good opportunity for him to showcase his abilities, and he deserves his start. And I want to have Anthony Martial up top as a #9, perhaps maybe, you know, not risking Wayne Rooney, and making sure that he is going to be fit in the Premier League, and hopefully having Martial, you know, get a little bit of that run in that #9 role, or maybe switching these four and bringing Memphis up top and Martial back on that left wing. Who knows? Anyways, this is going to be very interesting, so make sure you guys get your comments in the comment section below and let me know what you think Louis van Gaal will field in his 11. And make sure you guys subscribe to the United People's TV if you guys haven't. And if you guys want to hear a little bit from me, you guys can come check me out on my channel, as always, at GlobalRedsTV. And once again, I'll see you guys next time.